fight the master that called you here?
Have you ever seen the true face of God, exile? Die in awe!
Too much clutter.
Nightmare! This world is an illusion, exile.
Not a soul.
Hi everyone, my name is Zen Velasco. Hope you enjoyed the Dominus fight, even though there were quite a few close shaves, primarily because of sloppy play on my part. So, back to the topic. The reason I made this video, or this character, the main reason I made this character was to prove that Eldritch Battery and Zealot's Oath might not be okay. I know Ziggy posted a video yesterday showing that Eldritch Battery and Zealot's Oath might be okay, but I had a few problems with it. Primarily, I feel that a keystone should be able to function standalone on its own without needing other keystones to prop it up. Secondly, I feel that Eldritch Battery and Zealot's Oath is not a combination that would be viable in endgame, and I'll go on to explain why. When you use Eldritch Battery and Zealot's Oath together, you are foregoing an important part of your defense. Your ES is protecting mana instead of your life, and life regeneration no longer applies to your life. In addition, you will end up having to forego Val Pact, because Val Pact will negate life regeneration. You will not regenerate your ES with Zealot's Oath if you take Val Pact. And if you're a high DPS character, and if you are worried about Reflect, Val Pact is almost always the best way to mitigate Reflect damage. The main advantage that Eldritch Battery has over other conventional builds, I think Ziggy mentioned this, and I think the community at large has postulated about it, is the fact that you are able to stack auras, which the number of auras that you're able to stack is more than the usual build. So Ziggy was able to stack Herald of Ice, Herald of Thunder, and Anger. Let's see if this character can do that. Okay, so this is Anger, Herald of Ice, Herald of Thunder. So he's able to do that. And of course, Clarity, which is for mana regen. As you can see, I'm able to sustain all these 4 auras while still having a mana pool of 121 left over. Now, I will go on to explain to you why a mana regeneration character, stacking mana regen character which stacks auras, which is able to stack auras, is superior to an Eldritch Battery Zealot's Oath character which stacks auras. I think I explained the defense aspect just now. Now I'll move on to explain the offensive aspect. If you look at my tree, you will realize that there is a node here, a keystone here, that is very close to my build, and this is called Chaos Inoculation. If you look at the Chargers tab, you will realize that there has been a change to Frenzy Chargers. Each Frenzy Charge now provides 4% more damage in addition to its previous bonuses of attack speed and cast speed. In addition, the damage that Anger provides, I do realize that Anger provides bonus damage, but this bonus damage is not made the most of by the fact that Glacial Cascade has damage effectiveness of 80%, which means that you are reserving 60% of Anger for only 80% of the benefit. Well, at least that's how I see it. You might see it differently. My plan for this character is to eventually replace Anger with Discipline, respec my health nodes into CI, run Blood Rage, obtain the bonuses from Frenzy Charges, have a higher effective HP, higher pool of effective HP because of higher ES. In the end, I will have higher defense and higher offense, which to me is much stronger than an Eldritch Battery and Zealot's Oath build, because I believe that build has very limited potential in endgame maps as compared to a CI build, focusing on mana regen. So I spoke about how Eldritch Battery and Zealot's Oath gives up a lot of your defense mechanisms. This build does not give up on the defense mechanisms. In addition, it is able to run Arctic Armor. Unfortunately, Arctic Armor has not yet been changed. The mana costs are still the same as what it is in the live version. However, that said, my mana regen is about 153 per second, so I'm able to run a level 11 Arctic Armor. So just to show you, yep, I can walk around, see my mana is fine. Now, can I cast my spells on top of that? So let's try it out. Yep, no problems whatsoever. Look at my mana pool, it's full. It goes back to full. So it costs about 42 per cast. It's not linked optimally yet. I purposely chose the links that would eat up the most mana per second, so I actually linked it with Spell Echo and faster casting, just for the sake of trying to have as much cast as I can and to see if it can drain my mana. It doesn't drain my mana, as you can see. So we'll have a look at the gear first before we proceed on to the passive tree. Most of my gear is self-found. In fact, all of my gear is self-found or self-crafted except for this ring, which I traded for from YouTube. He likes mapping, I like making builds. So I give him chisels, alts, wiggles. He was happy. He gave me this ring. Anyway, this is my wand. So it's pretty much the only source of DPS on my build apart from my Ami. As you can see, it's not the best of wands. I mastercrafted mana regen on it to help my mana sustainability. This is my helm. This is my shield. No DPS whatsoever. It's all about defense and resists. This is my amulets, which is pretty decent, I would say, for a self-found league. This is my chest piece. This is my other ring. These are my gloves, my belt, and I use Goldworm for the MF aspect, the fire resists, and of course the mana regeneration. So let's have a look at my passive tree. So Ziggy mentioned that he took about 5 to 8 points. He had to move away from his tree by about 5 to 8 points in order to obtain Eldritch battery zealots and the accompanying nodes. Personally, I felt that I only used up about 4 points, maybe about 8 points if you consider the fact that this aura nodes were taken as well. So I'll tell you which 4 points first. So this is the Righteous Decree. So these two provide me with 30% increased maximum mana and 6% reduced cost of skills. And the other two notes which I took were the Deep Thoughts cluster, which provided me with increased mana regeneration and maximum mana. Every single other node that I took which gave mana also gave life. So you can see here, so they were not useless to my build. Okay, this is ES and life, and this is life regeneration, percentage life, as well as mana regeneration. Now the reason why I say these aura nodes are not taken just for the sake of reducing my mana reservation is because I intend to spec into CI, as I mentioned just now, and I intend to take these 2 nodes as well. And 22% increased effect of auras that I cast will definitely benefit clarity and discipline. I am running 2 auras after all, so it will be quite beneficial. It will improve my defense because I'll have more ES from discipline, and it will improve my mana regen as well because I don't have to level clarity up so much and reserve so much mana. So my tree is a bit different. I decided to take a few more elemental nodes here just for extra DPS. Aside from that, I tried to stick to this tree, although I'm still in the process of trying to spec into the critical nodes here. However, I am only level 66, so I still have plenty of points to spare. So I took a jewel. This is an interesting jewel that I was experimenting with. This was an idea that was given to me by Bob Slop, the genius. So the genius Bob Slop said that this jewel might be useful with the combination cast with damage taken, desecrate, and flash offering. So let's have a look here. So I've tried it out. I'm not sure how effective it is. I think it's hard to tell, but I think it helps a little bit. So you can see here that cast with damage taken, flash offering. Okay, let's say desecrate. It creates 3 corpses on the ground. Flash offering consumes corpses, so if it consumes 3 corpses, one would assume that I get 12% of my maximum life back. So I hope that's the case. It's hard to tell. I'm not sure what else to tell you about this build, other than the fact that I felt the play is just smoother. I mean, let's just go to some place like City of Sun, and I'll show you why. I think the sound effects are disabled at the moment, so just bear with me. So I use a Chaos Golem as well. Okay, let's see how it goes. As you can see, you can look at mana pool, you can see it's perfectly fine. With 4 power charges, my DP is about 6.8k. So that is quite respectable, I guess. Right, back to base. Now, I'm not saying that the new Eldritch battery is completely useless. I think the mechanism of it is quite interesting. However, I do feel that the way forward for Eldritch battery in its current the way it currently works is not with Zealot of and Ghost River. I think the recovery speed should be improved. Perhaps you could, with the keystone of Eldritch battery, you could reduce the ES recharge delay. I mean, the mechanism is very interesting. However, in its current state, it is not worth taking EB at all. Even with Zealot's Oath, no way. You can use Endure. I mean, I don't even have Enduring Cry, but if I had Enduring Cry, I would use it for damage mitigation and life regeneration. I would not use it to regenerate my mana. It's not, especially when my mana is perfectly fine. I have 1.5k mana. And I'm only level 66, and as I level more, my mana pool will increase. Oh, I forgot to mention as well. When you saw my available mana, you realize that even though it's 121, I can assure you that this number will only increase because my reduced mana has not been leveled fully yet. So once it reaches level 19, I think the mana multiplier is 71% or 72%. Same here. This is only level 15. It's only 76%. So my available mana pool will just keep increasing, and the potential of this build, or at least the strength of this build, will just keep going up, especially once I obtain the necessary gear that will allow me to spec from HP to ES and to CI. In fact, I could even go low life if I get shavs. So there you go. So much more potential than an Eldritch battery and Zealot's Oath build.